What is cache memory? Cache memory is a type of fast access memory that a computer uses to temporarily store data and instructions that it is likely to use again in the near future. The purpose of cache memory is to reduce the average time it takes to access data from the computer's main memory. This is because accessing data from the cache memory is much faster than accessing it from the main memory, which is slower but has a much larger capacity. When the processor requests data from the memory, the cache memory checks whether the data is already stored in its memory. If the requested data is found in the cache memory, the processor can quickly access it from the cache instead of having to retrieve it from the main memory. Cache memory comes in different levels, L1, L2, L3, etc., with varying sizes and access speeds. The cache closest to the processor, L1 cache, is the fastest and smallest, while the cache furthest from the processor, L3 cache, is the slowest but largest. Cache memory, often simply referred to as cache, is a type of high-speed memory that is used by a computer's central processing unit, CPU, to store frequently accessed data and instructions for faster retrieval. It acts as a buffer between the CPU and the main system memory, RAM, which is slower in comparison. The purpose of cache memory is to improve overall system performance by reducing the time it takes for the CPU to access data and instructions needed for processing. Cache memory works by temporarily storing frequently used data and instructions closer to the CPU, so that the CPU can quickly access them without having to fetch them from the slower main memory. When the CPU needs to fetch data or instructions, it first checks the cache memory. If the data or instructions are found in the cache, it's referred to as a cache hit, and the data or instructions are retrieved quickly. If the data or instructions are not found in the cache, it's referred to as a cache miss, and the CPU has to fetch the data or instructions from the slower main memory. Cache memory is typically organized into different levels, referred to as L1, L2, and sometimes L3 caches, with L1 being the closest and fastest to the CPU, and L3 being the farthest and slower. The larger the cache size and the closer it is to the CPU, the better the chances of achieving cache hits and improving system performance. Cache memory plays a critical role in speeding up a computer's performance, as it helps reduce the CPU's wait time for data and instructions, ultimately leading to faster processing speeds and improved overall system responsiveness. However, since cache memory is more expensive to produce compared to main memory, it is typically smaller in size, which means that not all data and instructions can be stored in the cache. As a result, cache management algorithms are used to determine which data and instructions should be stored in the cache to maximize its effectiveness. Thank you all of you. Subscribe the channel for more updates.